Hey, what's going on, guys? Ryan Weber with Ryanwebertraining, and today we're going to talk about some quick and easy ways to take control of your most scary thoughts without having to get a degree in psychology. We'll see you in a second. Welcome back. So I am Ryan Weber. This is Ryanwebertraining, the channel where we talk about a lot of things to help you produce the best version of you. And this is going to be just free information. It's going to be things that you can take right now, go out and start to implement the moment you're done watching this video so you can start getting better results right now, today. So today I want to talk about a topic, something that I've been working on for a long time, and I'm sure you guys have too. I think every person I know has scary thoughts. I definitely get scary thoughts. And what I mean by scary thoughts is, it's so easy just to kind of take a look at what goes on in the world at different times, and you start to kind of wonder and ponder, how are things going to work out for you? How are things going to work out for your family? What's going to happen in the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? There's so many questions that come up, and just from reading so many social media posts, especially if you're on Facebook lately, you can see that some people are just scared. They're terrified. They really don't know what to believe about different situations, different circumstances. So I thought it'd be really appropriate to make a video just talking about how we can take control of these scary thoughts. And you don't have to become a psychologist to do it. So here are some pretty simple things that I want to talk about. So give me a few minutes to kind of set the context. I want you guys to watch this all the way through. I guarantee there's going to be something good and beneficial here for you. And if you feel like this is going to help somebody else, by all means, please share it. Okay? So the first thing I want to talk about, there's going to be 7 things. The first thing I want to talk about is going to be your conscious versus your subconscious. So there's 2 parts of the mind. You have the conscious mind, you have the subconscious mind. Now the conscious part of the mind is the mind that has the rational thinking. The subconscious mind is more of kind of like our predetermined programs. It's what we do. It's how we respond to situations without even thinking. It's our breathing. It's our heartbeat. It's when you're driving to work in the morning and you zone out and all of a sudden you show up at work and you're like, wait a second, how did I get here? Did I stop at all the red lights? That's what the subconscious mind is. Now, the reason your subconscious mind could drive to work uninterrupted, or so you think, is because with your conscious mind, you've gone over this idea so many times. You've gone over this path so many times, it just becomes a part of your paradigm, your level of thinking. So you don't really have to think about what you're doing to get to work. You just do it. I bring this up because this is the same thing with thoughts, okay? So talking about the second point, it's what we feed our mind. So in order to take care of a scary thought, you want to make sure you're starting your days off with positive information. You want to read something positive. You want to watch something positive. Definitely try to avoid the news. Try to avoid social media first thing you wake up. If I was you, I would have a good book, whether it be the Bible, whether it be a leadership book, whether it be positive quotes and affirmations, whether it be a YouTube video. Find something that every morning, as soon as you get out of bed, as long as with having a healthy diet and routine and exercise and everything else, do something positive for your mind. The information you put into your mind is really going to set the stage for the rest of the results you're going to produce the rest of the day. It's also going to set the stage for your emotional tempering for the day, okay? Your emotional temper, are you going to be having a good day, a bad day, a mediocre day? The more positive, the quicker you can start your day off with something positive, just the better off you're going to be. And this is kind of like starting to build a defense. We're building a little wall and a guard around our mind. We're defending ourselves from all the negative BS. Which brings me to my third point, is you want to limit negative influences. So negative influences, I just mentioned a couple, the news, the media. I understand a lot of people, especially maybe the more mature population and generations, they feel like they have to watch the news so they know what's going on. Now, my experience of being a fireman paramedic for the last almost 2 decades, I can tell you that a lot of the people at work that I work with will watch the news. And it started to shift. A lot of the times the guys don't want to watch the news. The reason being is because sometimes it just gets so negative. There's so many things in there. Our job, we're around enough stuff without getting all the details that we really want to be careful what we put and what we place into our minds. So if you just keep on feeding, more negative crap into your mind, and you're dealing with situations that sometimes maybe are very negative or kind of in the gray area, or you're dealing with other people, kind of helping them come through their own drama, their own trauma, whatever that may be, when you keep on adding more of that to the mix, it gets really hard to defend yourself from anything like that. And this is where, it comes into our conscious mind, and through repetition, it goes down into your subconscious mind, and it really starts to become, part of your paradigm and how you act and how you reflect and, other people and how you respond to other people, how you interact with yourself, with your family, with anything, anyone, really does have a big impact on your overall life and what's going on. So, right now, if you guys are not familiar with the term coercive persuasion, in my experience, that's a lot of what's going on in the media. It's brainwashing, if you are to say that, even with some of these negative television shows and things like that. Now, stick with me for a second. I understand some of these ideas are up for debate, and I'm not trying to say I'm right or I'm wrong, but just stick with me for a second. So coercive brainwashing, coercive persuasion, brainwashing, it's seeing the same images, same negative images over and over and over and over again. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find anybody out there who wouldn't agree, or at least be able to acknowledge that if you are seeing negative images and you're hearing negative quotations, negative comments and things for the majority of the day, over time, what's your self-talk going to be like? What are you thinking about? We think in pictures. We think and we reflect upon a lot of the things that we experience throughout the day and days previous, which is why some people can get really stuck. They can become depressed. They, whether they want to or not, whether they realize it or not, they're surrounded and drowning in so much negative or misinformation, they find it hard to be positive, to look forward to something, to really kind of bring themselves up out of this funk they may be experiencing. Maybe you're in a funk or know someone who's in a funk right now, and they don't even know why they're there. The energy in the world has shifted greatly. Now, I definitely feel like we are all strong enough and smart enough to come out this much better, much more positive people, but it doesn't help, when you're actually in the moment. It's a big test of your character. It's a test of your will. So just by being able to guard your mind from some of the negative forces out there right now, and I'm not saying you have to be oblivious to what's going on, but take a break and go and study something positive, just so you can give your mind and your conscious, your subconscious, that positive food for thought to help you stay more focused on, just what really is good in your life and all the blessings that you do have, rather than thinking the opposite, okay? Now, I think thinking is going to be a higher power. This is my fourth point. So rationalizing. When I say higher power, I'm simply talking about out of all the species on this planet, I'm not sure if any other species can really rationalize and think the way a human being can. We can take in information, we can process that information, and then we can decide whether it fits our mold or not. Is it good? Is it positive? Is it happy? Is it sad? We rationalize. So I would encourage you to use your thinking to search for things that are more on the positive side, that will lift you up, that are for the betterment of all. That's going to leave people and yourself with an impression of increase. Being able to rationalize in this way is going to serve you and help you get much further along, rather than dwelling on something that's going to be more negative and bring you down. So really think about how do you rationalize things, because a lot of the times our perspective is our reality. Even if something negative does happen to you and you choose to say, you know what, that's good, you might think, why the heck would I say that, Ryan? Why would something bad happen to me, do I say that's good? And I heard this from somewhere, I forget where it was, but basically the person was saying is, no matter what happens, I always say that's good, because whether it's bad or it's good, if I look for the good, then there's something positive to focus on, and there's some sort of lesson that I can learn that's going to make me better the next time. So I think that's a beautiful point of view, and I encourage you guys to use that too. Now, point number five, I want you guys to create an anchor. And what I mean by anchor is I want you to think of a positive time, a positive moment, or just a positive experience, a positive phrase, something positive, okay? I think you guys get the idea. That whenever start a negative thought or negative comments or negative influence is starting to kind of creep into your mind, into your psyche, you guys can flip the switch, go, no, I realize what's going on. I'm not going to focus on all this negative stuff. And you're going to go to your anchor. You're going to think about this positive thing. You're going to dwell on that, So whether you close your eyes and you breathe in deep 5 times and think about something positive, whether you meditate, whether you're simply just going throughout your day, and no one has to know that you're doing this. You don't have to alert people, hey guys, I'm going to take a break and think positive for a second. Just, if you're at a grocery store and you're bagging groceries and a negative thought pops into your mind, just boom, okay, the anchor. What's the anchor? Maybe the anchor is thinking about your kids, or thinking about your dog, or thinking about your wife or your husband, thinking about a sport you like to play, thinking about one of your favorite songs, thinking about a positive experience you had growing up or last week, whatever it is. Just make sure you're thinking about that thing. It could be a place you love to visit, the ocean, the waves. That's very calming, very soothing for a lot of people. And it represents peace and serenity. So when you have an anchor, something to kind of rely on when a scary thought comes up, you can really easily flip the switch and shift your thinking to that more positive thought rather than allowing that negative thought to dwell and to grow and to become bigger than what it really has to become, okay? My point number 6, practice. So just like going to the gym, you're not going to go to the gym and work out for a week and all of a sudden go, I got guns like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, I wish it was that easy. I've been working out for darn near 20 years and I'm still working on it. Practice the way you think. Practice using this anchor. Practice shifting your thoughts. Practice being aware of what's going on. Now, these are all things that are going to serve you, and practice over time, done consistently, is going to reprogram your mind. It's going to reprogram your paradigm. So good practice in your conscious mind, rationalize that idea, let it sink deep down into your subconscious. It's going to be a part of who you're actually becoming and how you operate in the world and how you operate with people today. So the last point number 7, I'm going to drink of water here. It's really dry up here today, guys. All right, point number 7, believe in a higher power. Now, what do I mean by believe in a higher power? So this can be interpreted many different ways. In my experience, a higher power, it could be, do you believe in God? And, whatever your beliefs are, I'm not judging. And I'm just going to say, for this example, let's say, okay, I believe in God, a higher power. Well, Ryan, why should I believe in a higher power? And my answer is this. You may have an absolute perfect life. You may go through and do everything just absolutely right, by the book, paint by the numbers, cross off all your T's, dot all your I's, check off everything absolutely perfect. But for whatever reason, something bad might happen. Something may not go your way. I have found from personal experience that believing in a higher power, that this can be very comforting and very supportive. Reason being is we go back to the point of, well, this is good, okay? If there's a higher power, and I believe that everything is good, it's just my perception that when something bad does happen, I'm choosing to receive it as, okay, here's a lesson. Here's an opportunity for me to grow somehow, some way in my life. Now, I understand some things can be really, really bad for people. And they're going to be like, Ryan, you're off your rocker. There's no way that this negative thing that happened, I can find something good in it. And I'm not here to say that, you 100% can. But allow this idea just to kind of sink into your psyche for a moment and imagine, the idea, just what if? What if, you believe in this higher power, this thing that has this ultimate supreme reign and control over your life, is trying to govern and guide you, all things for your benefit. Not saying you're not going to face adversity or not going to face challenging times, but when you do, it's a stepping stone, it's a catalyst to get better, to learn, to grow. If you can at least just wrap your head around that for a moment, you'll see where that can be very empowering, very relaxing, very soothing, very calming. And that's what I mean about just, thinking and operating with the higher power. We have thinking. Thinking is a high intellectual capacity. It is a higher power. We are high power beings. So I think if you think about it, excuse me, sorry guys. I think it all makes sense and it ties itself together in a way that it can just be very freeing, very liberating. And let's face it, if something will allow you to feel more liberated, more free, why wouldn't you give it a shot? You know, you got nothing to lose. So, okay guys, what we talk about in this video, we talked about 7 things. We talked about conscious versus subconscious. We talked about feeding your mind positive information, limiting negative influences. We talked about thinking as a higher power and how to rationalize. We talked about creating an anchor, something positive. We talked about practicing, and we talked about thinking and operating with a higher power. Now, I understand that maybe this, isn't going to be the end-all, be-all for everybody, but if you do these 7 steps, if you watch this video and you take what I said to heart and you start to use even just a couple or acknowledge a few of these steps as something that can be supportive, well then guess what? It can. So you may not change your life in a day, you may not change it in a week, but doing the right things over and over will most certainly support you and move you further along from where you are right now to where you really want to be. Let's face it, life is a journey. We're all here to try to get better, to grow, to love and support each other. That's what I'm doing with this channel, and that's what I really hope you guys are getting from these videos. So with that being said, you guys, please smash that like button if you have not already. Share this out, leave a comment. Any questions you have, let me know. Smashing that like button, guys, is really going to help me in the algorithm to rise higher so more people can see this information. So if you do think it's good and you appreciate what I'm doing, then by all means, please just help me to share this message with more people. That being said, guys, if you need any more information, I definitely have a VIP program. If you go to www.ryanwebertraining.com, you will find a link to a VIP program where I really go into a deep dive mindset, and I can support you with a lot more of these ideas. And it's not just myself. I actually have some amazing mentors and people who help train me in these ideas who are going to be doing that program and supporting you guys as well. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, have a wonderful, awesome, blessed, and amazing day. We'll talk to you soon, guys. Take care.